Yeah, right.
Hello, Shy Guy.
I won that at Santa Cruz.
Oh, really?
What Shy Guy?
In the corner, the masked little red guy with the white face.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the SF Comic Book Company. This is the SF Company Hour, our weekly show. I am Ray Doomzilla. Welcome back to our issue. Was this issue number 4? Wow, 4 issues. Wow, we're going on some long territory here. So next to me is right here the Mandalorian. You want to say hello?
I go by Hondo, also Captain Central America. And so I'm glad. And the Mandalorian is the new one. I have like many names, like Wu-Tang members. You know?
Big Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
I've been saving that
one. Remember Hondo Calrissian? That was another one.
Holy
and right next to him, our first time on the show. Introduce yourself.
I don't have a cool. I just Kite. I need to come up with some.
Yeah, you need a cool stage name.
You don't need a cool. If your name is Kite, right?
All right.
So, Kite, since it's your first time on the show, kind of introduce yourself. Like, what makes you a nerd? What gets you into the fandom? What's your secret origin?
My secret origin. I don't know. I guess I remember. Those comics as a kid. Actually, probably Robotech was probably the thing that got me kind of into just like anime, and then it was and then it was comic books and somehow finding how to find ways to get comic books because I didn't have like a lot of money and actually I remember one way I was actually pretty smart as a little kid. There was this one store. I'm not proud of this anymore. But I figured out if I went to the store and bought a newspaper, I could sneak inside of the newspaper and only pay for the newspaper.
Wow.
Nice.
Genius.
So that was one way of getting my
we do not promote theft of comic books here. But it's pretty genius.
This was during the Great Depression.
Right.
Yeah, so.
I still think though it was pretty smart.
What was it? Do you remember the first issue you stole?
Oh my god! It was crazy. It was sort of like a Costco type place, and they had this one section. It was sort of in the back where nobody ever was, and they had all these different comics. So sometimes there were ones that that I followed, and sometimes I didn't know anything about them. So I would just kind of go through them, and so that's why it was like so easy for me to just kind of sit there. And
Genius.
Yeah.
Way to work the system.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Hey, you got to get those comics somehow. Right?
Get them to the
I
people.
don't know how I got as many as I did. I didn't do that often. I think that was when I was kind of desperate, and I just needed,
This was only a couple weeks ago, too. They did.
They did?
They used to have the multi-packs at Costco. They used to throw like a bunch of like random like 20 comics for like $10 or some shit. I used to buy those all. I used to love those, man. Yeah, you used to have some good books in there too. Like they had some good little stack of comics, man. It was a cool little deal. So cool. Over at the corner in our director's producer's chair, Michelada, Ricky D's.
Ricky D. What's going on, guys? Here we go. Let's get back to Ray. I want to get the show started already, man.
No, let's talk to you, Rick. Let's find out what's happening with you.
Negative.
Mr.
This
Negative.
is an intervention. Right?
Yeah, this is
Always an intervention.
This has been leading up to the Rick-a-vention.
Wow.
You're going full Rick.
Oh, shit.
You never go full Rick. All right, so the first topic, we're going to go through a couple of small topics, and our big topic for the day, we're going to talk a lot about Disney Plus today because it's the big topic of the week. So the first thing we're going to talk about, Sin City is getting a TV show produced by Frank Miller. Did they say, Rick, where it's going to be or where it's at? I know Legendary's producing.
Legendary's got it. They're making a deal with Robert Rodriguez, but as far as to who's going to get the show...
I assume it's going to be a streaming service, right?
It's definitely going to be a streaming service. I wonder if it's going to be maybe even like HBO would back it right now.
It would have to
Showtime.
be. It'd have to be something. I'm sorry. So, Kai, what do you think of your first thoughts about this Sin City show? Did you read the comics at all?
No, I actually never read the comic. I didn't actually ever know about it till the movie, which I really loved. Well, both of them.
I hated the second.
The second one, yeah. Well, the second one definitely wasn't as good. But,
the first one's awesome. I love the first one.
First one's great.
But yeah, I've never gone back to reading it. So actually, this is until you told me, I had no idea. I don't know. What's it supposed to be about?
I think it's a prequel, right? It's supposed to be like a set before, like kind of the origins of Sin City, kind of.
Pretty much. I think they're going to be Miller's going to be doing probably new work for this one here.
Yeah, because they've have a few storylines. They've only made A Dame to Kill For, Yellow Bastard, The Hard Goodbye, and what was it? The second one pulled from a couple books.
The Big Fat Kill.
The Big Fat Kill. Yeah. So there's a couple books they haven't done with the Hell and Back and a few other ones they haven't produced. But I guess this is going beforehand, like the kind of the origins of Sin City, kind of like how Bison City, like how it turned into a shithole it is. So Alex, you read the comics and you saw the movie. You're all up to date. So what do you think about this?
I like the idea that Frank Miller is writing the is behind it.
RoboCop 2.
Yeah, that's true. But RoboCop 2 is awesome.
And 3.
Well,
3 is not. 2 has its charm for sure.
And so
Frank. Jetpack, though.
I'd rather see Frank Miller trying this than comic books because I think he lost that that edge that he had. Like the comic books that he's come out with have been disappointing in my opinion.
Not good.
So I think it's a good idea. I'm like, what is this going to be on? It's going to be on what? Have they announced
some streaming?
Some streaming.
Definitely
right now.
not Disney Plus. I tell you that.
Not Disney Plus.
It'd be awesome if it would be.
It better be hard,
Like,
rated R.
it.
It needs to be on like HBO or Hulu or something where they can be uncensored and.
I know. When's that gonna happen? Like, when's Disney gonna be?
Well, Hulu's gonna be
R-rated.
Hulu's gonna be Disney's like Netflix, like for all the R-rated stuff. So that's where we're gonna.
Because they got their Fox division now, so they have to.
All right. Well, let's save the Disney Plus for. We that's gonna be the big topic.
Okay, so I think I'm optimistic. Hope it turns out well.
Optimistic Prime.
Yeah, I'm.
Is that another nickname?
Optimistic Prime. Yeah.
I like that one.
I'm gonna start writing these down.
What do you think?
Rick, what do you think about this news? You excited about this? Or
I'm happy. I like the world of Sin City.
Except for the second film, which the rare film that you did not like.
I fell asleep to that. I fell asleep to that movie, and I still haven't finished it. So
Yeah, I think I'm pretty positive I've seen it maybe a couple times, but I think it's always been in pieces.
Yeah, it's just like it's episodes for me, pretty much. I fall asleep, wake up, I'm like, all right, where did I leave off? Let me go back. I'll fall asleep maybe like 10 minutes later again.
Yeah.
But, I like the Joseph Gordon-Levitt stuff was okay in that, like the one they
that
made.
was but wasn't that original stuff that
Yeah.
he wrote for it, which was great.
Yeah.
So that gives me hope for this new series, especially that he was writing new material for that particular movie. If it's anything like that Gordon-Levitt scene, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it'll be a pretty good series. I'm really looking for, as long as it's uber violent, because that's what Sin City is.
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's Sin City. It's in the name.
Noir, fucking just death around every corner.
I want to see the Sin City crossover at some point. Yeah.
You can make Sin City in Sin City.
You can build a Hooker Alley from the ground up. It'd be great. So yeah, Sin City. I think potential. It's perfect for a TV show. I think they should probably did that from the beginning. But the first movie's awesome. Second movie, But a TV series, I could work. Hopefully, we get good Frank Miller, and not the,
RoboCop 3.
not the Holy Terror, Dark Knight, Return Strikes Again, Frank Miller. So.
Goddamn Batman.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. The new Sonic trailer hit. They famously a few months ago, trailer was released and globally everyone hated it. The redesign of Sonic, he looked horrible. He had teeth for some reason, and so they heard the backlash and they said, "Okay, we're going to redo this." So sorry about that. So. The new trailer was released a couple days ago. Kite, what was your initial?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the trailer
yet?
yet?
I didn't even know the new trailer was out.
Yeah, they redesigned Sonic. He looks like Sonic has looked for like the past 30 years.
So he looks right now.
He looks
Are
like.
you looking it up?
Kite, have
I'm
you seen the original design for the first?
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Very-
yeah. It was kind of weird.
very,
like,
very
you
toothy.
go, yeah. It's funny that you said that though. I didn't really even think about that till you said that he did have teeth. And
It's weird.
I'm trying to think like. Did
He had eyes. His
teeth?
eyes were weird. The
Yeah.
fur was weird.
The fur was really
he was
weird.
lanky.
Wow.
He was like. It's just like you have a design that worked. Like, why would you like change it? Like, people know Sonic has a certain way, but it's the look of it is
Okay, so
far.
this is it? Is this the
Yeah,
new look?
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, look way better.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a whole different
It's
beast.
amazing.
Yeah, and well, the movie's probably not gonna be good, but it's
Right.
Jim Carrey's in it, and the fact that he's reading Flash comics is going through and reading Flash.
Oh,
comics.
yeah, that was
cool.
a good little
that kind of
Easter
sold
egg.
me a little bit. I was like,
Oh, then-
he's going through the
yeah.
collection of
So-
Flash, and and
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, Alex, what'd you think of this trailer?
Yeah, that was a nice little nod where Sonic is looking at comic books and he's looking at the Flash. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a fun movie.
Looks
you know,
cheese, but,
like it looks. I mean, that would be one maybe you could take kids to go see or something.
Is it like what's the? Do you know the rate? What it's rated?
It's definitely aimed for kids. It'd probably
I think it's
be
PG-13.
PG. I don't know.
PG
PG.
probably?
No, it's gonna be PG. No,
I
no.
think it's PG.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a kids movie, dude. They're making that movie for kids. That's fucking it's gonna be.
Okay.
I don't know. Did they, I mean,
Like, what is Sonic gonna do? He's
Not
gonna be
like-
dropping f bombs or
Unlike
anything?
Shazam, okay? It's
I'm
not
thinking,
Shazam.
though,
It's not
if
gonna be-
They took so much time and put money into making it look more like Sonic. Maybe they're listening to actual like more adult
They
fans.
actually
that-
did, which was great.
But Sonic
That's
doesn't really
good.
need to be PG-13. Like, he's not gonna be saying shit and like fucking like grabbing
I want-
asses and shit.
That's the Sonic I want.
Yeah, a rated R,
That's the
a rated R
Sonic
Sonic
we
movie. I'll be.
They did say he had an attitude, right?
Rated R
Right.
Sonic movie.
I would
Wow.
a rated R fucking Mario Brothers movie would be awesome too.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Koopa on Koopa action. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
crazy.
Rick, what'd you think about this?
I totally love the redesign. I love the trailer. I'm super excited about this movie.
Excited. Wow.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the first video game movie that I think is actually going to be worth its money.
The first?
Yeah.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu was pretty.
That's a. I mean, they take a character and they put the Pokemon, but it's not actually based on like a game. You know, like.
Well, this is not actually based on a game either. It's just
It's fucking Sonic,
Sonic.
the Hedgehog fucking collecting rings. That's all I need to. That's all I need to know. Plus, the way they're attacking the storyline is that Sonic comes from an alternate universe, like an alternate dimension.
I thought you said a different planet.
No, it's an alternate dimension.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm actually.
You sure? I think it's a planet.
No, it's alternate dimension. I'm double checking this right now. Yeah, he's from an alternate
What do you
dimension.
use the rings for? You like to travel or?
I think that's his heroin on his
Time
planet.
travel?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's his fix.
I need them rings, man.
He starts scratching. He can't control himself.
I need all them rings. I need to go to that.
I'm like, I totally, I'm digging, especially that the fact that they're actually adding James Marsden as an ex.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
SFPD.
James Marsden.
San Francisco mentioned, so it's another kind of San Francisco thing. I love movies
right.
with
So
San
it takes-
Francisco
yeah, right.
and a bit in it. So yeah, I'm like totally fucking sold on.
I
can't wait for
I
something.
like some of the super speed stuff. Super speed is like my favorite superpower. Seeing cool. At least he runs better than
and then the Flash.
Ezra Miller from Justice League because he runs like Phoebe from Friends.
When does that come out? When does that Sonic movie come out?
February 14th.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Valentine's Day. Take a date.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, so then Frozen will have been way
Alex, would you like to go?
released. To go see Sonic.
Watch Sonic
Happy
together,
Valentine's Day.
Go eat some
Rick.
Sonic.
Gotta
Go
lock
watch
it down
Sonic.
now.
There's no Sonics in San Francisco. Don't tempt me.
All right, so Sonic might be okay. We'll see. Next topic, we're going to talk a little briefly about the Titans season 3 coming out. They had one of the producers had a teaser on his Twitter and kind of showed a couple characters. They had Bumblebee, Miss Martian, Roy Harper, and the one that stood out to me was Wally West. The redhead Wally West is supposedly going to be featured in season 3. Did you guys, any of you guys actually check out the first couple seasons yet?
No. I've
No?
not seen that.
Unfortunately,
It's all-
I have not
Is
seen
this
Titans.
So is this a like grown-up Teen Titans?
Yeah, it's a rated R Titan show. Like there's
hardcore
F-bomb.
Titans, man.
It's rated R?
It's rated R. It's like Robin's
Batman?
fuck Batman. They drop F-bombs and violent. It's like Robin's like fucking breaking bones and shit. It's actually I watched the first like 3 or 4 episodes and it was actually pretty good. Like
animated or live action?
Live action.
Live action.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen this at the store the other day.
They released it on
what is this?
on Blu-ray recently. The first season.
Yeah, I saw that. I was over Target, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's I need to finish it, but so far it's been pretty good, and the word of mouth I've heard about it is pretty good. A lot of people say it's really good, so I'm excited. If they bring it in Wally West, who's one of my favorite characters of all time, the redheaded ginger Wally West, I'm pretty excited. So and it's like Dick Grayson going from Robin to Nightwing, and that's one of the subplots, and like it's taken a lot from like some of the early Teen Titans stuff, the Marv Wolfman, George Perez stuff, which is some of the best comics ever created, like in the 80s.
Yes,
so
definitely.
It's definitely it's something to watch out for. I think I think we all need to watch that at some point. The only problem with it, it's on DC Universe, the streaming service, which no one has. So
that's what I was gonna ask. So that's the only way to.
I'm
gonna find ways around.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the Blu-rays because it's easier, like than to buy it. Because DC Universe, it looks like they have some
I hear
cool shit,
DC
but
Universe isn't expensive though.
yeah, but it's too many damn. I have too many damn streaming.
Yeah,
services.
I already. Yeah, that's why I don't have Disney.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I guess we all have to watch it now. But all right, so let's go on to our big topic of the week. This week saw the launch of Disney Plus. Disney Plus is a new streaming service. They have everything on there. Pretty much all their under PG-13 stuff. So you have all your Marvel movies. You have all your Star Warses. You have all your all the Pixar movies. They have National Geographic. They have all the Disney Channel stuff. They have all the '90s cartoons from Disney and Marvel and stuff. So there's I know. Kite, you picked up Disney Plus. What's your initial thoughts? What do you like about it so far? What do you dislike about it so far?
I guess I have the only sort of dislikes I would say so far is seeing something. I was talking about DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited to have all the old DuckTales, but there were only 2 seasons, and I think it was like season 2 and 3. And I think season
1.
It was something weird like that.
Yeah.
It was like season 2 and 3, and season 3 only had like 5 or 6 episodes, something weird like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the other episodes aren't on there. Something that I want to watch, like I want to watch that over from the beginning again, but I don't want to watch, although like DuckTales wasn't like
it wasn't
linear,
chronological. It wasn't chronological. I have the first season on.
They did have a few episodes that did, continuation episodes.
It was kind of you can jump in kind of anywhere. Yeah,
but still,
you want to watch from the beginning, like has God intended DuckTales from the beginning.
I haven't checked to see if all the episodes of the X-Men animated series are on there. So there's just so many. I've kind of just gone through it and just browsed through what they have. There's just so much on there, which is great. And then I got stuck. Like I think I watched Tron, and then I watched Tron Legacy.
Oh, nice!
Back to back, because and then what else did I watch? The Rocketeer.
Nice. On, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah.
Smoke show.
Which is it's not the best movie ever, but I love that movie.
The Rocketeer, it's classic. Directed by Joe Johnston, guy who directed First Avenger, and was it the other one he directed? Wolfman, the Benicio del Toro Wolfman. He directed, and he worked on Indiana Jones back in the day. He was I think he was a concept artist on Indiana Jones or something like that. He was he's great. He has that great nostalgic.
Was Alan Arkin in that movie? Or who was the other guy? Adam Arkin? Alan Arkin?
Timothy Dalton was in it.
Timothy Dalton was. T-Dalton.
T-Dalton.
That was a pretty good translation of the comic book onto film.
Yeah.
The comic book has brilliant art by the late great Dave Stevens, and it's really good stuff. If you ever get a chance to check out the Rocketeer artwork from the comic books, I would look that up.
I got the trade from that. It's pretty good. I like that series. So yeah, I watched a little bit. I browsed through some of the stuff. Like some of the stuff that like stood out was, of course, the '90s X-Men. They have the Spider-Man cartoons from the '80s, the Spider-Man and Amazing Friends.
Oh, nice.
And the regular Spider-Man cartoon. The regular Spider-Man cartoon from the '80s has one of the best opening theme songs, and probably the best Spider-Man cartoon. They have all the Toon Disney stuff like Gargoyles, and like I want a deep dive on Gargoyles. I've been fiending to watch that stuff for a while. The Fantastic Four cartoon from the '90s is great. Excellent. The Hulk cartoon from the '90s. I
remember that one.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're underrated. They're pretty good. I'm glad they put those on there. And there's so many. They have a lot of stuff on that Toon Disney, stuff. So all the DuckTales and. Tailspin's on there.
Wow. Rescue
Rangers. Oh yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing, man.
Yeah.
Darkwing. They even have Bonkers. I checked the whole Disney afternoon lineup. Yeah. They had gummy bears up to Bonkers. Wow.
Yeah,
pretty dope.
Pretty good.
How much is Disney?
$7.99.
$6.99. Pretty damn cheap. Yeah.
And if you get the Hulu,
I'll give you
a Hulu bundle. You can get Hulu Plus or Disney Plus and ESPN Plus all together.
Yeah, but
Hulu?
The Hulu is the
how much is that?
The Hulu is the commercial ones.
Okay.
Yeah, but still,
I'll
you
look
get
it up
all
later.
3 services for like I think
how much
is
like
$12.99 possibly.
Yeah, that's
we're giving plugs to Hulu, Disney.
I know. Hey,
get that
shout out
because you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get a lot of that Fox library through.
I locked down the Disney was it 5
3 years or something?
6, yeah, it was 3 years, and it ended up
so they own you,
like,
man.
Yeah, it ended up being like $4 or $5 a month. So
yeah, I did the year for $69.99. It's
good having options, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it's just too many goddamn streaming services, man.
I know. I have Amazon and Netflix. Like, wow.
They have the Simpsons on there, which is awesome, and they're gonna
minus the
Michael
Jackson episode.
Really?
That out, yeah.
Season. He's not even credited. It's not even him. He's not even credited. Come on, man. Jeez. Whatever, man. I have it on DVD, so I can watch it whenever I want. Screw you, Disney. The Simpsons on there. They have National Geographic. Jeff Goldblum has a show on there. The World according to
Jeff Goldblum.
That looks interesting.
Jeff Goldblum. I saw. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of things like on my radar that.
Yeah, it's
a lot to take in.
I get sucked in too.
I must be interested.
Now I'm watching two. Back-to-back movies because they're on there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for a good couple days off, and I'm gonna really go in and deep dive.
I'm wondering if that Jeff Goldblum, if they feature, there's like a giant statue of Jeff Goldblum in I believe it's like a Korea or
they love Jeff Goldblum
or
maybe I'm thinking it's an Asian country.
Australia.
I gotta look it up. There's a huge statue of Jeff Goldblum like on his side, like just chilling. It's
what, like from Jurassic Park? Jeff Goldblum.
I think so. Yeah,
like back of the truck.
It's huge.
God,
it's a giant statue.
Creepy and cool at the same time.
I wonder if he covers that. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyways, I digress.
Wait, take us off topic, Alex. Thank you.
No, people are gonna look up that Jeff Goldblum statue live, man. You know you will.
We'll put a link in the description. Jeff Goldblum statue. All right.
I gotta see it, man.
So Rick, when anything stands out from Disney Plus, like you got the, I only had like one glitch where I had to restart it and download the app, the update.
I've had no problems yet.
Yeah, I went in Tuesday. Was it Tuesday night? It released.
Tuesday night release.
Yeah. So yeah, I got on pretty easily. I've heard like a bunch of people around the country had issues, but I didn't really have too many issues with it. So it's a new streaming service. Of course, it's gonna have some glitches and shit. And of course, you got 10 million people coming on.
Even the old ones do still.
Yeah, it's they're
working for whatever reason sometimes.
Yeah, when you have 10 million people like trying to log on at some time, you might have some issues with it. So
yeah.
So the only thing that I've kind of like now that I've gotten introduced by it missing seasons, I'm gonna have to start going through every show that I want to watch and see if they have the actual full seasons on. Yeah. Because The Simpsons not having those Michael Jackson episodes, yeah, that's one thing. But missing the whole fucking first season,
there might be something where
DuckTales is something else. You cannot
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. You cannot miss the first season of any show. That's your introduction to the show. That first episode is so important. That pilot episode, introduction to every character.
But like cartoons weren't like that though. Like a lot of cartoons were just like.
Have you seen the first episode of the Gummy Bears?
Standalone.
First episode of the Gummy Bears, they tell you who each gummy is and like what makes them so special.
I remember that.
Yeah, I love the Gummy Bears. I love DuckTales.
It's very good to watch on acid.
You get to see which character is how they're portrayed for pretty much the run of the show. Tailspin, Cloud Kicker, you're not going to know how he is unless you meet him in that first show. You're going to see him in other shows, but you're going to like, oh, is this how he's going to be throughout the whole thing? Sometimes he changes, but in that first show, it really sets the tone for his character. Other things that I watched were like, dude, I'm a big mark for these Disney movies that they like were premiered like on a Disney Channel. Like Johnny Tsunami, that's all me. I love Johnny Tsunami. That's like one of my favorite shows.
The fuck is Johnny Tsunami?
Johnny Tsunami's fucking awesome. If you guys haven't seen Johnny Tsunami, please watch it.
Juani Tsunami.
Juani Salami?
Juani Salami, I used to be that guy. Then you the luck the luck of the Irish. That's another like, leprechaun playing basketball kind of thing, learning it's just Disney's, man.
Was this a cartoon?
You sure this wasn't a fever dream?
It's a movie. The guy finds out that he's this little luck charm. That's why he's so good in basketball. He's just walking around with it.
Oh, Disney.
Yeah, Disney, man. Disney got the shit. I'm a big Disney mark, so.
Yeah. I like how they have the cultural disclaimer for some of their older shit.
Well, that's good though. Yeah, they're not going to give me Songs of the South though, are they?
Yeah, well, they have a lot of their shit from back in the day is very like stereotypical race thing. So, which I'm glad they're releasing. They're not gonna edit all this shit out and like heavily edit. They're releasing all this shit, but they're putting a disclaimer. Hey, this was at a time where they had some weird depictions of characters, of races and stuff.
Yeah.
So
socially unacceptable.
Yeah, to now it's not. Just like Apu on The Simpsons is not acceptable anymore. But they didn't edit it out. They're not going to edit all that stuff out. It's hey, it's a white guy doing a stereotypical voice on
PC world, man.
Is Apu out?
No, he's there.
He's there. He's just running down.
There's just
yeah. So there's a discretion there. I'm glad they didn't like just say, okay, we're not going to show any of these things because we're going to edit everything out and edit the hell out, because I hate when they go back and edit stuff. So it's at least they're doing that. They're not going to like fold and say, oh, we're not going to release any of this stuff because it's not for the time. So it's interesting. So overall, I really like Disney Plus. I'm excited. They're gonna, I think they have. It's only like a quarter of the stuff they have because they got a lot of the Fox stuff and like a lot of their library they haven't released yet. So
can I ask one thing? Since you haven't had that much time to check it out, Kite, haven't found anything that you've been looking for on Disney Plus so far that you've been looking forward to but you couldn't find it?
Honestly, DuckTales was the big one. So
that's ruined his week, man.
Well, there was that 3-parter with where they're gonna measure the weight of the money, and it takes place in the underground, and then it's Atlantis, and then it's
oh nice.
Wasn't that the movie?
It was like a 3-parter. No, it was like I think it was like season 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember they had a movie.
So I was excited to just watch those 3, and they're not on there.
They're not on there.
So I was super bummed out.
Oh man.
The other thing I did notice too is it doesn't have like continue watching how it on Netflix.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
so,
like
sometimes I'm like,
feature.
what was I watching again? And I have to like go
it doesn't
through
save what you've been watching?
No, it just
it just keeps you going.
Fix that, Disney. Come on.
Yeah, Disney, get off your ass.
Especially if you're watching like a series, you want to be like, do you want to watch the next episode? Like,
yeah.
Fucking just give me the next episode.
That's how
But like I've kind of started watching different things because of that. I forget what I was watching, so I'll watch this now, and then not remember what I was watching before. So I like that option.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's cool. So Alex, you're gonna pick it up, right? You're gonna get we're gonna take
I'm
a
gonna
collection
have to
and
get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the one reason to really get it is our next topic. We're gonna do a little spoiler-free review of the Hondalorian.
Saying everything.
There's a lot of stuff. Like a lot of people haven't seen it yet, so there's so much you can talk about.
Seen it.
It's just your initial reaction, Kite, of the Mandalorian. You watched the first 2 episodes.
I watched. You told me the second one is on yesterday, so I got home and watched that thing. Falling asleep, but I watched. I mean, it was good. It kept me awake for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it looks great. I'm bummed that they're as short as they are.
Yeah.
But the first one really blew me away. Yesterday's was great. It seems like it's leading to the next episode. So that's what kind of bothered me with the time. Like okay, I get
want it now, damn it.
Yeah. And so what, are they getting released every
Friday? Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Yeah,
okay.
every Friday is gonna be released. Yeah, and
so that's why we were only like whatever 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was like, well, that was a weird time. I'm like, they just came out, and now there's another. Okay.
Well, they wanted the initial release for the first episode, and then now it's they're going to the every Friday. We're so used to like getting everything all at once now with the binge, and like it's like I would have definitely watched the whole series the first night if they all released them all night because it was so into the first episode. The first episode was amazing. I really the twist at the end I did not expect, and kind of I want to talk about it so bad, but it's a big reveal at the end. It's well directed. The music's great. Who's the guy who does the music? He's Sergey or something like that.
It has a good score, huh?
It's not even listed on here.
That's important.
He's I forgot what movie he did, but he's really good. The soundtrack, it feels like a old school spaghetti western. It's well shot. The acting's really good in it. Nick Nolte's in it. This is stuff in the trailer, so we're not really spoiling. Like Carl Weathers is in it. He plays like a bounty hunter liaison. So it's Pedro Pascal is really good in it. He plays the title character. He's really good in it. It's just it's well acted. It's well shot. Werner Herzog's in it. He plays like an old imperial guy. He's awesome in anything. He's just a great director and great actor, underrated actor. So far it's really good. I'm really excited for it's 8 episodes, right, Rick?
8 episodes.
Yeah, so it's we're almost towards the end already. Jeez, it looks great, sounds great. I'm excited for the season. Rick, what's your initial?
So for music for the Mandalorian is done by Ludwig Göransson. He did Black Panther.
Yeah,
and
Black
Creed.
Panther. Yeah.
So,
and Creed.
Creed. Oh,
Yeah,
Creed.
yeah. No. So this guy's pretty good. I think he's going to be
great music.
Yeah, he's coming up. I think he's going to be a good. The soundtrack is really good. I really like the soundtrack.
So for the Mandalorian, after I watched the first episode, I simply thought it was amazing. I couldn't wait to watch it again for the second time. After the second time, I couldn't wait to watch it a third time. I watched the first episode 4 times already, and it makes you feel like you're watching like almost like you said, that old school spaghetti western. Gives you that Clint Eastwood, the man with no name kind of feel.
Yeah,
you know, it's something that probably everybody's seen in that opening shot when he comes into the cantina.
Yeah,
but I've seen that scene so many times growing up, where the gunslinger comes in. Right. Pushes open the doors and goes into the bar.
Somebody doesn't like the guy.
Everybody looks at him and he just comes up to the thing, doesn't say a word, and it's pretty amazing that they were able to take a Star Wars kind of feature and give it that old school western kind of flick. Yeah. I think Mando. Is that what they're calling him, Mando?
Well, it might be a derogatory term, I guess.
Okay, I don't want to say that. All right.
You're Star Wars racist.
But our Mandalorian,
Mando,
Pedro Pascal,
the Hondalorian.
He just, I mean, when he's even just walking across any scene, you can just see that everything is like body acting. It's exuding confidence.
He got that helmet.
You can't see his eyes.
Show his face. So he's definitely.
I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
To pull that off, it takes a very talented actor to you care about a guy you haven't seen his eyes or face, so you care about this character just through his acting.
Pascal is definitely getting up there right now. I mean, we've seen him in some things in Game of Thrones. We've seen him in other things in other flicks, but Pedro Pascal. Yeah, he's gonna be
Narcos.
Right, that's
he was in season 1, 2, and I think 3 of Narcos.
Now, because of this, I haven't seen Narcos, and I've been hearing so many good things about it. I'm gonna go watch it just because
of Pedro Pascal. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Narcos is good, man.
He's an amazing actor.
Not to digress.
What about Marcos?
That's my brother, man.
So. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was watching a video, some guys talking about it, and they kind of put it best. It just seems like, guys that are making this, they're playing with their action figures back in the day. These are like I have my Boba Fett, my IG-88, and we're playing with Jawas and doing all this shit. Like you're in the play. This is like in your backyard playing with your Star Wars figures. It just it's an awesome. I really like it so far. I'm very excited about it. Yeah. So yeah, you got to get it.
I'm gonna get the other reasons you gave me for like DuckTales and all that stuff are all good reasons to get Disney, but everyone's talking about the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and
that's 100%.
I can't even. It just came out.
It's the main reason I got
to
it.
watch this
Yeah,
thing.
right?
So,
Yeah.
Like
I would have eventually got the Disney Plus, but Mandalorian was like, I got to get it first.
The production behind it, the directors they get, it's amazing.
Yeah, they got good directors.
They got great directors.
Dave Filoni, who's kind of like the like George Lucas' disciple. He directed the first episode, and who directed the second episode?
Rick Fuyama,
The
the guy who did Dope.
Yeah.
He did Dope.
He's a good director.
He's a great director.
I
He was
love-
the guy supposed to do Flash, and he dropped out.
Yeah,
I
everyone's
love
dropped
that
out.
Werner Herzog's in it, man.
Yeah, Werner Herzog.
Hey, yeah, it was cool, but to see Carl Weathers, man, for me that was unexpected. That's one name I didn't hear.
Oh, he's in
really
trailer.
that coming.
He's in trailer.
Carl Weathers was. I was like, damn, they got fucking.
Carl Weathers
Wow.
and everything is
They
fucking
got
great.
Dylan.
Apollo, who?
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
So yeah, Disney Plus. We're excited. It's pretty much built for nerds. It has you have one thing I did want to see on there that they didn't have is the Muppets, the original Muppet Show.
The continuous episodes, yeah.
No, they have the
they have
Muppet
movie.
series,
They have the
the movie, and they have the
they have like the documentary kind of series,
which I actually thought
cool.
was The Office meets the Muppets. I actually kind of like that series, but they don't have the original Muppets series, which I probably would guess is musical rights is kind of an issue getting those things.
Oh,
Yes, they have a lot of songs. They sing a lot of like known songs like so musical rights are always tough to get, so usually you can only find the Muppet Show on DVD, which I have. Also nice. Muppet Babies. Where's Muppet Babies? I want Muppet Babies.
I want Muppet Babies.
I didn't think about Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies?
I love Muppet Babies, man.
Muppet
Babies.
So now there's things that that Disney Plus doesn't have. That's like the Muppet Babies. Like for me, it was The Last Electric Night. I don't see. That's one of those.
I don't remember.
One of those Rick Cuddy things.
It's one of those Disney family
Rick
movies
Picks.
that they used to have on ABC, like at
One of
7 o'clock on
Rick's
Sundays.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I just
Ernie Reyes
Jr. You
Jr.
remember more of those than I do.
Yeah, they had Brat Patrol with fucking Sean Astin and the guy from Explorers.
Oh, nice, man.
I think Rick's just making shit up at this point.
That's what I do, man.
So yeah, no, I'm excited. It's definitely made for the nerds, man. It, Disney owns my soul because they have everything I ever loved. Fuckers,
They got us the hooks.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Like they didn't just need to start making a tequila, and then they'll have everything. Disney Plus agave. So we're excited. Disney Plus. So cool. A good discussion about Disney Plus. I'm excited. Disney pays some money. I'll definitely sell out for some Disney cash. Buy our channel.
Same.
Just season passes to the park is good enough for me, man.
Hook a brother up,
It's
man.
$200 to go right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
But that Galaxy Edge, though.
I want to go so bad. Yeah,
that's
I've never been to
wow.
Disneyland, but
Give me a free lightsaber and we can call it a day.
Yeah, they did a great job there.
I want to go so
It's
bad.
definitely like being there, like in that world.
You've gone?
Yeah, I was there like Halloween actually.
Wow,
I'm
Halloween.
Jealous. So
And
jealous.
I guess in like this or January they're coming out with more rides or
cool.
more. So
Yeah, I might be going in January.
How much is it? Like $100?
well,
More?
I think if
What,
you
to get in the park?
Yeah.
If you go to
expensive,
just that one part, it's
$169?
like I think it's like 140, 130, something like that. If you get the park hopper, and it was like 170 or something.
No.
So
Only?
Did you try the green milk?
I did not have that. I was in the cantina, and that's the only place you can drink in Disney. Well, unless you're at the Club 55 or
Club
whatever.
60, yeah,
whatever.
the mouse, whatever the hell it is.
Club
Yeah.
69.
And the cocktails were good.
Yeah.
They're expensive. Well, also I bought the it's got the souvenir cup
The
with
thermal detonator.
one of them. I didn't get I forgot to buy the sodas.
The detonator Coke.
Yeah, the Coke Sprite, and then there's a Diet Coke, and then the Dasani with the weird writing water. But at the cantina, you can buy well, it's weird because they won't add alcohol to things that are non-alcoholic. So you could get the Porg souvenir cup, but it comes with a non-alcoholic drink. You can't add anything to it, so you have to pay.
You have to buy it separate.
$40 for this non-alcoholic drink.
Wow.
And it's not like a actual bar. Like you can't just order a shot of tequila or whiskey. You have to order one of the specialty cocktails, which are like 8 or 10 of them.
Yeah,
I think we had mostly all, but we tried them all.
One sitting.
Star Wars
you have to
line them up.
Well, you have to also make a reservation for the cantina. You can't just go. And so I think now I forget how many months out you'd have to make a reservation.
They have like fast passes or actual reservations?
No, actual reservations.
Wow.
And then you still are in a line for your reservation because
Jeez.
they basically get 40.
Wow,
you get 40 once you get in. You have 45 minutes to drink.
That's very Red Velvet of them. Fuck those guys, man.
Jesus.
But it's great. It's cool inside. They took the robot from the original Star Tours. He's
Dope.
inside and he's the DJ. And
That's
so
cool. I like that.
And so he's also he says things. They've changed some of the dialogue, but he says things that he would say on Star Tours. But they changed it up. So if you remember the original Star Tours,
No
you're
doubt.
like, oh my god,
It's all in canon.
He's still doing the lines. Yeah.
Wow,
It's great. It's cool though.
Oh man, I want to go. All right.
Wait till the hype dies
Make your
down in
reservation
20
for the
years.
cantina now.
Yeah, I might go in
dope.
January, so yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. Now I want to go even more. All right, so all right, Disney, pay us some money. Get us in the park. We'll do promote you guys more because you guys need more promotion. So all right, so going to our next segment, our weekly segment, the pool list. The pool list is pretty much what you picked up recently. Could be good or bad. It could be a book, could be a comic book, could be a CD, could be a movie, could be a concert you went to, could be a piece of art, whatever you got, whatever you're into. So we'll start with you, Alex. What's your pool list for this week? What do you got? What did you pick up? Anything good?
So my pool list.
Anything bad?
So I just finished season 2 of Cobra Kai.
How is
And
that?
oh man, it's awesome. It's just so fun, and it's kind of lighthearted, and nice little twists, and it's a nice story where it's going. You know
Did you watch only the first season? You said.
No, I saw both.
Oh, both
season
seasons. Okay,
2.
yeah.
I finished
it's
season
good.
2.
What is that streaming on?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, I think
YouTube.
Yeah, I think the first season is
First season's free.
Yeah, with ads.
They were releasing season 2 week by week, and so I finally finished it now. But I think they're rotating it, so like episode 1 of season 2 is not available, but episode 10 is. So that's how I was able to see it.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to wait every week, and then the next episode would come out until like last week. I think the last episode came out free on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was able to catch up. It left with a cliffhanger, like season 1. So
Mr. Miyagi's back.
Any Karate Kid, Miyagi.
Zombie Miyagi. Yeah. It took a dark turn.
Zombie Miyagi.
Yeah, Zombie Miyagi.
Love it.
Zombie Miyagi.
Yeah, that was really good. That was something that I've done recently, and I think it was episode 0. I mentioned that I'm very much into concerts, going to see live music. So probably behind comic books, like my second favorite thing is live concerts, and then probably third is movies. But I did go to a concert the first week of November. I went to go see Madonna.
Oh yeah.
And
where was that?
I may be on an island by myself, but I love Madonna. She's awesome. She knows how to do it when she wants to. She knows how to command a really good performance. This was the Madam X tour at the Golden Gate Theater in San Francisco, which is kind of a theater where they usually have like musicals and like Cats and things like that. So she had this concert at the Intimate venue.
Yeah.
It was originally scheduled for Halloween, but she reset it for Tuesday the 5th, I think, of November. And she bumped it up to like 10:30 start time, so it's kind of a late start time.
She's getting sued by her fans now for that.
Yeah, she's getting sued, but
Really?
There's a couple of fans like in like Florida or Vegas. They're like pissed
So,
off that she changed the times.
just some pictures. I bought this picture book, and just some of the stuff from the tour.
What was her old book called? The one she
Erotica?
yeah, was it Erotica? Yeah.
Oh my god, that was forever.
Yeah.
And it was a great performance because it felt like I was watching a musical or like a play, because like the stage kept changing. They had different sets. They had different dance pieces. She sang mostly from her new album. She had all kinds of eclectic musicians, international musicians. These ladies, I'm not sure what country. I want to say, no, I don't remember what country, but they were drumming a bunch of ladies of color. And yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember what nationality or. But again, she had a great concert, like international thing, and it was probably one of the best concerts. And I've been to a lot of damn concerts, so
that's cool.
I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan. She knows how to command an audience, and there was one point. Last thing I want to say is there was one point where she
our Madonna talk segment of the show. Go ahead.
Real quick, she was she was noticing that like the doors on the side were opening up, and I think people were like leaving in the middle of these acts to go use the restroom or something, and she kind of like said, "That's kind of distracting to me." She basically told the audience like, "Can you guys not do that?"
Whoa.
And I thought like, wow, like that's kind of a diva move, right? But in thinking about it though, she made a good point. She said there are really good performers on this stage, and there were like violinists, there were awesome musicians, and basically she was saying like, you really want to watch this, and you know, if you pay that much money and everything, it takes the audience to participate as much as sometimes the people that are playing, and I think she recognized that. So I didn't see that too much as a bad thing. I kind of saw it as like, you really want to see what's on stage, because we really put together this good show, and they really did. So
Sounds
there
awesome.
you go.
Yeah,
Thank
Madonna.
you.
All right, Madonna. We're gonna have a weekly Madonna segment for Alex.
So that was
was her nickname? Was it
Madge?
Madge?
I don't know how I know. I don't know how I pulled that out.
I knew it was some old timey like that.
She didn't go all British on us either. She didn't use that British
I don't know how I remember that.
You just endeared yourself to Alex.
Yeah.
So all right, that's Alex's pool list.
Yes.
So Kite, what do you got for us this week? What do you got? What'd you watch, saw, hear, good or bad? What'd you
thing I got was, and I haven't been able. I tried to download it, or not download it, install it. Was I got the new Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I went and picked it up, and then I had like an hour before I had to go to work, so I was really excited. Maybe I'll play it for like an hour. But of course, you put it in and
You gotta
download all
pain in the
this
ass.
stuff, and then there's all this DLC that I was trying to get. And so by that time, I was like at 20.
7 hours later.
Yeah, right. And so I didn't even get to see I think while I was doing that, I was watching something else. I didn't even know there's like an intro movie.
The
or
starting
something.
cinematic.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I want to see that. So then I'm like, all right, I can't do this
yeah.
yet. So I'm excited to play it. It looks really cool from the trailers, but I have no idea. I think I'm off to Monday, so I'll probably that'll be my
that'll
Monday.
be your life for the next
Yeah.
Disney Plus and then Fallen Order.
Exactly.
Disney's got you, man.
They got you, man.
They
Star
have
Wars
all
and
my
Disney.
money
It's EA, right? EA still making the Star Wars
Yeah,
game, which
yeah.
they had some hiccups, but I like the last Battlefront. Battlefront 2 is
I still pick it up every once in a while.
Yeah, it's still.
They'll have those updates.
Yeah.
Just the controversial thing with the boxes.
Loot
That was
boxes,
the thing
yeah,
that killed me.
Oh well, what's new about them?
It was
you
like
have
a
to pay
to play.
Yeah, the pay to play.
Right
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
and now,
but they kind of fixed it and they released
Yeah.
some stuff. Like, I thought it was fun. I like the story mode on that too, which was
the story
lacking.
was really
It was
great.
lacking from the first one. So definitely an improvement. I think the first game kind of left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, and the loot box stuff. So, but kind of an underrated game. But for all I'm hearing about Fallen Order, I heard it's really good. So I'm gonna try to pick it up at some point too and play it, because I love
Got
it.
high hopes for it. It's just
I love
the
a
thing
good
that scares
Star Wars
me.
game.
It's EA.
Yeah,
That's the thing that scares me. a lot.
EA has not been a great company. So it's a good one. And also I wanted to bring up Kite on his Instagram. If you check out his Instagram, he does this cool thing with his toy set free, which I always like him posting. Just basically you travel. Basically tell us what you do with it.
I didn't. I guess what happened was a few years back. I used to have a lot of, not as much stuff as you have in here.
Not many do.
Thank God. I had a lot though, and I started realizing I didn't really know. You have it displayed so well. It's great. I've never been great at that. Mine just.
I'll come over your house and fix
shelf.
it.
Yeah. I need you to come.
I've done that to many friends. Go and fix their collection.
And so I had a lot of just sort of small, like vinyl figures, whatever you get in like those balls, whatever.
Little blind bags.
Blind bag stuff. And I realized one day I have so many that I'm never gonna do anything with, and I didn't want to toss them. So I just started doing a thing years ago where if I was traveling somewhere or just out in the city, I would just leave it somewhere and take a photo of it, and that's where it stayed.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
And then I don't know whatever happens to it. One time in Japan, I saw it was in some tree, and I happened to be like far away, and I saw some kid climb the tree and grab it. So he saw it obviously. But that's the only time I've ever seen anybody.
Yeah.
I've gone back to the place and they're gone.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So you're like a Santa Claus for even toys around the world.
It is a thing though. I as much as I like to do it too, it's still hard for me sometimes to get rid of these things.
Let go.
To let them go. And
well,
so
to get a picture somewhere.
So at least I have a photo.
Something,
and it might bring some kid that probably brings a little joy to somebody's life.
I think it's
a nice moment in time.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
You know, like that reminds me. There's this French movie Amélie.
Yeah.
And one of the characters has a garden gnome. And she gives it to her friend who's going around the world and then taking pictures. The garden gnome is like at the Eiffel Tower. The garden gnome is at, the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever. And so that reminds me of that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
like,
a little very cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. That's really awesome.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I gotta check that out.
Check it out. Yeah. Rick, what's your pull list this week?
Hey, am I supposed to follow that?
Yeah, follow that.
It's kind of rough, man.
Try now. Yeah. That's why I made you go next.
I got to see Child's Play 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was afraid that I wouldn't.
Loved it.
I loved it.
Honestly, yeah. No. Honestly, I was afraid that I wouldn't. Especially loving the first one.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I was like, okay, how are they gonna attack it? And I was scared for so long. Ray said, dude, he enjoyed it, so I was like, he told me to watch it. So I finally got a chance to watch it, and it's Child's Play meets Fatal Attraction meets Terminator.
What?
That's pretty much how I kind of what I took from it.
Saw it?
With a little Stranger Things.
Yeah, with the little Stranger Things mixed into it.
I saw it in the theater. We're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah. New Child's Play with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
No, I love Aubrey Plaza.
It was.
I love her.
It was. Dude, I enjoyed the movie. I can't believe I actually.
Who directed it? Do you know?
The guy who directed it was Lars Klevberg. I'm not sure if he did anything else. I'm gonna have to look up. To see what else he's done. Yeah. But they had for me at least they had Mark Hamill doing the voice.
Mark Hamill did a great job.
Oh, right.
Who was it? Tim Madison was the guy who played Kaplan, the guy who owned the whole company. Fucking Otter from Animal House. Now he's up to old things. But I totally loved the vibe of the flick. It shows you how society's changed in a way.
Yeah.
At first you see Andy in the first movie. He's this little naive kid who's just, he's a ball of sunshine. He's lovable. You see Andy in this movie, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Well, kids are not.
Kids are not nice. Kids
are assholes now.
Yeah, kids are assholes. So you kind of see him as, being a dick. But yeah, he does need a friend, kind of befriends Chucky. And that's where the whole kind of Terminator vibe comes from. But I'm not gonna ruin anything. It's a horror movie at the same time. Chucky is fucking brutal, which I fucking dug, and I fucking love this movie, man. I was even talking to Ray, like, now we're gonna have to probably do a list, like, top 10 reboots, remakes, and retcons. So we're probably gonna have to,
that could be very interesting.
It's probably gonna be an interesting list on that one.
I'm already thinking.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised at how much I did like it.
Right?
A lot of these kind of remakes and reboots, whatever, I go in sort of with low expectations, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
it is
a lot of times. Yeah. I think what it makes me like those movies that are made well even more so, because there's like, you can't recreate this.
You can't recreate it. It's like you almost think of some movies as a classic, like Child's Play. As far as like slasher genre goes, Child's Play is a classic.
Is a classic.
I mean, you have Brad Dourif in it. Brad Dourif is fucking amazing. He's been in so many other like horror movies, but it's just like you don't want them fucking with your childhood, pretty much. I mean, Child's Play is one of those movies from my childhood, and they did. Thank you for these people. They did my movie justice. They didn't like copy it word for word.
No,
they created something new.
They could easily just made the exact same movie, but they took it into a new way.
New place.
Yeah, I thought it was a good good. I want to see some more from them.
Is it still in theaters?
No, it's
on Blu-ray.
Is it streaming somewhere or anything? No.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it anywhere. All right, check it out. Child's Play.
I kind of forgot about it till just now.
I like
Mark Hamill.
And it wasn't until after I looked that up. I recognized the voice.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't until I'm glad.
Mark Hamill's great.
I'm glad that
one of the best voice
actors ever, man.
And I'm glad that they don't, when certain things like that, where I hate it when they have it in the title or something, Mark as the voice, because then all I see is the face.
Yeah, you kind of like
Luke Skywalker's trying to kill you.
Then you're like, listening for it. All right, so that's a good pull list for you, Rick. So me, I got a couple things this week. Picked up the new X-Men issue, X-Men number 2, the Hickman X-Men run. Okay, it's not. Some of the X-Men stuff that's coming out after the Hickman run, the House of X Power. I think they're kind of like spreading themselves kind of thin with some of these books. It's cool. I like where it's going, but
that's a nice cover though.
It's a nice color. Lynn Francis Hugh. I think it's they kind of missed the opportunity just to make a couple solid books at the start and then kind of expand it, but they went off the back with like seven number ones with all these issues. So it's okay. I'm just not.
There you go, sir.
House of X, Power of X kind of set the bar so high, and my expectations for X-Men are kind of high right now. So it's kind of underwhelming right now. Some of the books, they're interesting stuff. I'm still getting into it. So. But I'll still continue reading this one. I picked up this book this week too. Why We Love Star Wars.
Oh, nice.
The great moments that built a galaxy far, far away. By Ken Knapsack. He's one of the hosts of Jedi Council, Collider's Jedi Council.
Nice.
He's a very big Star Wars nerd. He's got some great insights. This is basically kind of going through why he loves Star Wars from he's a prequelist like myself, who finds a pleasure in some of the prequel stuff, and they're not great movies, but there's some good stuff in it. So it's a great it's kind of a love letter to all things Star Wars. He goes through all his loves, why he loves it, and all the certain things. It's kind of a list of all the shit he loves Star Wars, from some obscure characters he loves to storylines from Clone Wars, and just a lot. He's a big nerd, and if you ever get a chance to watch Jedi Council, it's very insightful. It used to be hosted with Christian Harloff, who started his own channel now. But
what is that on?
YouTube's on the YouTubes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christian Harloff.
Yeah, you can find them also on the iTunes iPodcast.
Yeah, they have podcasts. Yeah, but Ken Knapsack, he's one of my favorite kind of online guys. He's very insightful on Star Wars. Very smart guy. If you ever get to check him out, the Jedi Council, Collider Jedi Council, is a great Star Wars info show. It comes out every Thursday, I believe. But this is his book. Check it out. It's on Amazon. You can find it places. Yeah, check it out. It's really good.
Why We Love Star Wars.
Why We Love Star Wars. And then a recommendation from our guest a few weeks ago, Bishop, MF Doom. I'm a big Doom fan, Dr. Doom fan. This is MF Doom. He's a hip hop artist from the 80s, I believe. So he released one of his albums right here. Been listening to it. It's actually really good. And he also told me about King Ghidorah. This album, I guess it's one of Doom's people, one of his folks. It's a very using excerpts from Godzilla movies and stuff in some of the beats and some of the skits and stuff. It's really good. This has some great samples. They have he sampled Scooby Doo at one point. I think this is an old one, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's like 1999.
Both hip hop.
Yeah, both hip hop.
Both hip-hop?
Great recommends from Bishop. He was talking about, so picked them off eBay. Didn't listen to it. It's really good. So yeah, that's my pull list for the week.
I would get it just for this cover.
The cover's pretty good, yeah.
This Dr. Doom. And then King Ghidorah, of course. You can't go wrong with that. No, I was listening to it when I came in here. And, and I'm going to have to pick these up too, man.
They're pretty
right
good.
away, it's like...
Yeah, this show's costing us money, man.
That's some cool stuff, man.
So cool. Some good pull lists for the week. So let's start with you, Alex. What's your hidden gem for the week? Hidden gem is pretty much our show and tell. It's something that's not mainstream, kind of personal to you, like just something that you really that speaks to you, something from your personal thing that people might not know about, and you want to share. It's a guest show and tell. Alex, what do you got this week?
I got 2 hidden gems. I just picked up this shirt, the Tribal Seeds, and they're like
Disney's
they're like reggae type stuff, and they were playing at the Regency Ballroom the other night, Thursday night, and of course this is a Star Wars themed, and it has like the Aztec or like the native element to it with Star Wars homage. So I had to get this. I like that. Really cool. And also, I finally brought my the Joker by
Carpenter?
By John Carpenter, and I bought like a variant because the variant was drawn by an artist named Brian Boland. This is the original cover, and it says written by John Carpenter. It's a Joker book that came out, I guess, over a month ago. It's pretty cool. If you want to check it out. And then this is the variant cover. This is artist Brian Boland, I think is how you say his name. He's a British artist. He's been around since the 70s.
Drew the famous Killing Joke storyline.
Right. He's just an excellent artist.
In a billion
Isn't
covers.
that good? That's
They're
like
great.
really... I had to buy this variant cover.
What does it, man?
Just because he's an amazing artist. And then I have... Really quick, I'll show you some of his artwork. So this is a book on his artwork. And that's Sergeant Rock that he drew. And I can just open up into any random page. And you can see some amazing artwork. On the back, this is from The Invisibles. This is Sergeant Rock. And...
Yeah, great cover artist. He was cover artist for The Flash for a little while. He did the Wonder Woman. What was the other ones he did? He's a great cover artist.
The Invisibles. All DC comic books. So, like... That Wonder Woman, he did a nice Wonder Woman run, with the Flash.
Yeah, Flash. Yeah, he did some great Flash.
He did some Flash covers, and then that's where
a classic cover.
That's a classic cover. More of his great work.
Yeah.
This one's really awesome. This is a picture book by a bunch of artists, and he did the cover, and you guys can take a look at it. Oh, this cover. I've been looking for this cover for quite a while.
That's awesome.
I love Wonder Woman, and when great artists represent her well, like this is just amazing. Oh, and last thing is a little gift for you, Ray, for the show.
Free comic book?
Free comic book. But hey, it fits the theme, so that's for the show.
Hondo.
That's for the show. Maybe we'll give it a freebie or something.
Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, so
Nope. He's a clone.
He's a fake.
He's a fake DeLorean?
So
that's my pull list.
Awesome. Hidden gem.
Hidden gem. Yeah. Hidden gem.
Brian Ballin and what was the other one you had?
This one.
And the shirt. Cool. So
Actually, mine are in my backpack just right out.
Oh yeah, let's check this out.
And they actually were kind of hidden as I was. I've been rearranging my apartment. So
nice.
Finding things. And this was in the back, dusted off. And
wow.
I forgot that I really loved. Oh, that's.
Oh, nice.
This is from Japan. The
Japan.
Hot Wheels.
The Lupin the Third.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's dope.
That's fucking very cool.
And
Yeah.
it's all the cars are. I don't know if you can see in here. It's got little jigging and
wow.
I forget when I got this years
How
ago.
how did you get that?
I think actually this is one of the few things that I bought on eBay.
Okay.
I usually buy things like at like a conventions or at the store. I don't know. It's weird for me to buy things like on like line for some reason.
You need to hold them in your hand to make it real.
Yeah,
I don't know. For some reason, it feels like cheating to me. To just, I don't have to work for it.
No, I feel you on something. Like some things I want to I could easily order online, but I want to find it in the wild because that's like the thrill of the hunt.
Like comic like exclusives, like Comic Con exclusives. I have something like it feels something about you like getting in the line and getting you actually went and got it.
Yeah.
That makes it.
No, I feel you on that one. Yeah.
And I forgot that this is a movie I really love. Have you ever seen Castle of Cagliostro?
No.
I have.
Miyazaki.
Old school.
Yeah.
I've seen like clips of it. And stuff,
do you remember the video game?
Which one?
They had like a video game like it was
have
kind
a
of like
gun- they have
Dragon Slayer with the cartoon. Like you know how you play Dragon Slayer and Space Ace?
Yeah.
Just like that. They had one to loop in.
I don't remember that. In Japan they had like a gun shooter one.
Oh, they did? Okay, I'm sure they had a lot.
Yeah,
I remember when I was a kid at
Pachinko
Pier
and
39, they had the Dragon Slayer type of game.
I don't remember that one. But yeah, you should definitely check this out.
Those are awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
Those are cool.
But yeah, this movie though is
Castle of Cagliostro. Yeah. Awesome movie.
Oh, it does say it on here too. It says it in French, even though. Wait, it's Japanese, but it says it in French.
Wow, that's really nice. That's really
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
And then my other one that I was finding is, so speaking of, is like, so Lego does these things where you have to buy like $50 or $100 to get like an exclusive little thing. You can't just buy it. And I love minifigures. There's my thing I really love. So this was a factory. This is one of the things you got. There's a factory of them making minifigures.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
That's fucking cool.
That is so cool.
That's fucking great. So they come with the little Lego,
With
the little
Lego making Legos.
Oh man.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's dope.
That's where art imitates life.
It's crazy.
That's fucking cool.
But sometimes I get things like that, and I'm like, I can never build that though. What do I, like,
Yeah, so just keep it in the box, man.
like I'm
That's so awesome.
I'm
man.
honestly like not. I'm not in, not so much anymore. I used to be more of a I can't open it, I can't do it, and now I don't really care so much. But I don't know. I just kind of like it in this little box.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool, like the art on
Like,
the box is cool.
yeah, I just don't think it'll look as cool.
Yeah.
Like out.
And you always have the option if you want to open
Right.
it up at some point.
Yeah,
know?
totally.
Yeah.
I do break down every once in a while. I see something in the box.
Yeah.
Like it needs to come out.
Toy set free, man. Toy set free.
Yeah.
Free toys.
So those were my.
That's awesome, man.
The free
Good
toy concert.
picks, man. That's what Hidden Gems is all about, right there.
Yeah.
Some hidden gems.
And they're literally hidden in my room. I did have to dust them off behind things.
There you go. Awesome, man. Very cool. Rick, what's your hidden gem for the week?
Dude, I had my hidden gem, but then I realized that I could not find it this morning because somebody borrowed it, both issues, and you know it very well, Alex. You were the one who actually turned me on to the book, Sleeper, by Brubaker.
Oh yeah,
I was
Sleeper's
looking. I
awesome.
could not find it for
Oh
the life
really?
of me this morning,
Wow.
dude.
Wow.
Both books, I think, are loaned out to my sister-in-law Tintin. So I'm hoping to find, because she also has my Invincible volume 1. So shit, that was gonna be my fucking my
Your
hidden
pick?
gem. I love that book, man.
So Sleeper is basically noir, written by Ed Brubaker.
Yes.
And I think Sean Phillips.
Sean Phillips.
Sean Phillips.
Sean Phillips was the.
So
artist.
Sean Phillips is the artist. It's comic book. It's very much like noir, crime.
Yeah, but dealing with superheroes at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's right. And yeah,
And
that's right. Because
also-
Ed Brubaker is famous for that. Ed Brubaker is the writer who created Captain America: Winter Soldier.
And what I love about it too, it gives you that
Good
whole,
stuff.
like you said, the crime noir, but
Yeah,
from not the aspects of the good guys.
right.
You get the total aspect of like this is a hierarchy in the like a mob family.
Okay.
Holden's one of those guys that he could just fucking just take as much pain as he can.
Yeah,
Misery.
Sleeper. I would look that up. That's a very good comic book.
Anybody who hasn't read Sleeper, I wouldn't even tell you to read it. I'll tell you, go pick this up.
Ed Brubaker
It's
is
an
a great
awesome
writer.
book.
Yeah,
It's a graphic novel. Or?
It's a graphic novel. It's collected in 2 issues, and that's it. The whole story is confined in those 2.
yeah.
The adventure is great in the first one, and then the second one, when the way it finishes, it does wrap everything up beautifully. It's the first story that I've like read. I was satisfied with the beginning, the middle, and the end. It was just great all the way around.
Not because you said that I'm going to reread that. I haven't read it in a few years.
I would reread it again, but
yeah,
weren't they making a show out of that Sleeper?
I'm not sure, but that would when we were talking about one time what that was like a hypothetical we threw out in the conversation that wasn't recorded, but what would you make as a TV show? Any property? Sleeper was my pick. Sleeper would have been the one book that I would turn into a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, can I ask you to show your shirt to our on-screen viewers? Rick has another cool shirt.
All right.
Another cool shirt. That's
Storm Shadow from Cobra. Via G.I. Joe. Fucking one of my favorite characters.
That's awesome. Nice shirt, man.
Fucking love Storm Shadow, man.
Your shirt's always got to be also in your hidden gems.
It should be. The stories behind them. They're old as shit.
Actually, everyone's wearing cool shirts today, man. Like
cool shirt, motherfuckers.
Represented.
I like that. Very cool, right? Like fucking awesome, man.
King Kong is fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam shirt.
That is so cool.
That is a dope.
Yeah.
This is
a Pearl Jam shirt too.
We're representing with the nerd today, man. We're all in it.
We're going full nerd, man.
Glasses
full nerd.
The glasses streak still runs.
No, we lost. No, we both guests had glasses. So Kite, thank you for not wearing glasses because you're the first guest not to wear glasses.
Oh, really?
You should get like a glasses has a trophy. So my
we have bad vision.
Yeah. So my hidden gem for the week, I'm going with Venture Brothers.
Yeah,
Venture Brothers. Those are the first 2 seasons. Oh, you would love this show.
Oh, you'd love it.
Venture Brothers is pretty much like it's a kind of a love letter to like Johnny Quest, all the like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, and Marvel 60s and 70s Marvel.
That was on Adult Swim, right?
Adult Swim, yeah. It's Hank and Dean Venture. They're like these 2 boys. They go on these Johnny Quest type adventures.
Right.
Their father is used to be like a Johnny Quest type character, so he's like kind of like middle age, going through his midlife crisis. It's there's so many like references and nods to, like G.I. Joe, the '80s G.I. Joe cartoon, to like Marvel, to like the villain, the Monarch is hilarious. It's very Rickish.
How would I know that was coming, man?
They're hilarious. Very.
It's only 2 seasons.
There's 7 seasons.
7.
These are the first 2 on DVD. They're all on the Blu-ray. Have all the seasons on Blu-ray. I think they're on Hulu, I believe, or one of those streaming services.
Season 1
another
is on
streaming
Blu-ray?
service.
They're not on Blu-ray. They're only on DVD.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't want to pull out the Blu-rays, but Venture Brothers. It's hilarious. Very. If you love comic books and cartoons from like the 80s, 70s, and 80s, this is like a show meant for you. It's very. The music is in it. It's very cool too. Very a lot of indie rock and a lot of old school indie rock and stuff. And like it's very cool little references, cool action. It's bloody. They curse and it's weird. It's they don't give a fuck. They go to weird, strange places. Venture Brothers. If you get a chance, Kai, I think you would actually really love this show. It's a great show. I think season 7. They're up to like season 7. They're going to keep going with them. So they come out every few years. They take like 2 or 3 years off and then come back and do a season, and it's always great. They're always really good. Venture Brothers. That's my hidden gem for the week. It's a good show. After it really hits its strides after the first 2 seasons. They kind of like trying to figure out what they are. By season 3, they really hit their stride, and it goes crazy and insane. And it's there are short seasons too. They're only like 10 episodes a season, so you can pretty much get through them pretty quick. So yeah, Venture Brothers. That's my hidden gem for the week. Great show. Great, nice. Underrated show. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Especially if you're a nerd, it speaks to us. That was a pretty good show. I like. We had some good topics. Good stuff. So Alex, you wanna where can we find you? Where can we search for you? Where can we look for you?
I mean, I have an Instagram, but honestly, like, who's gonna find me? You gotta know me to get a hold of me, I guess. That's where I'm going now. You'll find me here on this channel.
Cool. Kite, where people find you? And,
I mean, I have Facebook and everything, but I guess my Instagram's really the only thing I ever post. I don't remember the last time I was even on Facebook.
Yeah.
it's a camera kite is
yeah, you can see some toys set free, man.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
It mostly is toys too. Every once in a while, like something,
little selfie in the bathroom.
Something, yeah. Something. But
Shit,
yeah, it's
selfie in the
mostly
bathroom.
I mostly just do photos of toys or something.
Cool.
I can't remember what the last one. Oh, the last one was of my hand bleeding from playing pinball.
Wow.
Hitting it hard, man.
I don't remember that ever. I've been a lot of pinball, and I don't know what I was doing that. I was.
Dang.
All of a sudden. That's why I'm wearing actually this band.
Another pinball related.
Who's more beat up, you or the pinball machine?
Should see the other guy.
Yeah. Right.
So Rick, where can we find you? What's the deal?
You guys can find me at Max Effort Grayson on Instagram. Also SF Comic Book Co. on Instagram and Twitter.
Cool. Look, like and subscribe to the channel. At SF Comic Book Co. Shout out to Graham for making the theme. Always great. Shout out to all the comic shops that support us. Amazing Fantasy, Cards and Comic Central, Fantastic Comics, all those guys. Then look out for some more videos. We got some stuff in the works. Anything else I'm forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of shit. We didn't do our Watchmen review. We'll do that next week. We went a little long.
Oh man, I watched
all
the episodes.
I know. We'll do we'll be watching the Watchmen next week. So we'll hold that all for next week. We had a lot to talk about this week, so we went. What was it? Hour and
15.
Hour and 15. So all right. Thanks everyone for watching. It was a good show this week. Thanks Kite for coming on.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
The Hondalorian, appreciate it. So you guys have a good week, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.